All right. Well, you know what? I have a cat here. We have some bumping music going on. Hail, hail! The gang's all here. So why don't we? Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Why don't we get going? We have our new Unearthed Arcana to look through. Subclasses 1. The link is the link. Well, it was floating up there. I'll repost it one more time if you all want to follow along. Okay. So yes, then the desktop audio is at minus 6.5 decibels. Or how I'm looking at it, it goes about halfway to the green bar. Now, if any of you want to lay claim to certain roles, you certainly may, with the use of inspiration points, which is the exclamation point on the yellow explosion that you see down below. Already claimed, and I have it in queue. Hark is rolling background. Redcap is rolling race and alignment. So when do we get it going, huh? We have... Look at this. Look at our manual of player character golems. What you saw last week was an extension of the old style. This is it's the same presentation, except it's spruced up a little. The layout is different, and it is able to be expanded even further. And I would like to extend a thank you and a shout out to Trustaflumph over at D&D Time for the evolution of the spreadsheet. He did a fantastic job. And not only with things like our character creator here, but he is also hosting the pull lists for the minis, as well as the inventory for the orphanage. And there are now commands, any whispered commands for information such as shipping, donation, or inventory, and for links to... What are you doing? Ma'am? What? Okay. She's being... Whatever. She's a cat. She can be weird. Yes, come play some D&D with we. Hey, signups are still open for tonight. But I think at midnight Pacific... Jeremy closes signups for the Friday play, so head over there and give it a look. But yeah, he's hosting some of the channel's information there as well, and it's a good way to check them out because they are... Look, Pete and Jeremy are wonderful people. Their community is vibrant, is strong, and if you ever want to break the DM's curse, please go check them out, and they will offer you that opportunity to actually sit down and play for once and not just run. Oh, they do it at 12 a.m. Eastern? You all have 6 minutes. If that's the case, you have 6 minutes. All right, let's get going. There are three aspects to our character that have been claimed already. Now, our first character tonight, we're going to go vanilla. We're just going to go vanilla player's handbook. For the second character, we are going to unlock all the options in the character builder, and we're just going to go, we're going to have fun. We're going to go nuts with it. Now, the playtest content is still there. And by the way, one more shout out to D&D Time. Pete and Jeremy did a great mechanical review of Subclasses 1, and you can find that on their YouTube and it might still be a VOD that you can check out on their channel. I'm gonna give a quick shout out, DND Time. Now, using MathRocksBot, I want to call out folks who are out here to help me create this character. And to get things going, then, Cold Spark, will you please type !roll space 1D100 to let us know if we have a male character, a female character, or even, hey, are we just gonna multi-class right out the gate? Oh, hang on. You know what? Hold on a moment. I think, is MathRocksBot asleep? It might be. One moment. I gotta look around all my stuff. Oh, it's updating. Hang on one second. Yeah, I forgot to wake up MathRocksBot. Okay, now MathRocksBot should be going. It's not tied to it, but for the sake of efficiency and rolling, because this is just split equal chances, and I knew I wanted a 10% chance, to roll multi-class. It just makes it very an elegant way to go about it. Yeah, reboot your bots before streams, everyone. Yeah, I did a whole cycle and I forgot to wake up MathRocksBot. All right, give it another try, Cold Spark. MathRocksBot should be active. $79. So we have a male character. All right. Well, Kitty, thank you for at least stopping by and saying hi. It's appreciated, and hopefully the thunderstorms will pass and there's not going to be too much trouble for you. All right, so we have a male character. Hey, Solar, welcome. Speaking of folks from D&D Time, Solar, I believe that you recently found Pete and Jeremy, and I hope that you have enjoyed interacting with them as well. No, Cold Spark, it's the same. It's been this way since I even had this on a Word document. Now, for the character race, we're sticking to the player's handbook, and this was called by Redcap. You have found some friends of the stream from Australia. Oh, which channel did you come across, Redcap? Also, Redcap, as we're at the character race option, will you please use MathRocksBot to type !roll. Niece's fuzz is like single hairs are just floating here, and to type !roll space 1D9 to let us know which player's handbook race we're going to be using. Hey, Ikiru. Good evening to you. All right, so yes, you rolled an 8, which is human. However, if we come down here and we go to humans, let's determine if we have a standard or a variant. Ikiru, will you please type !roll space 1D6 And if it's 1, 2, or 3, it's standard. 4, 5, 6, we have a variant human. Oh, all right. So we have a variant human. Okay. Male human. Of course, they're medium-sized. Now we're going to come to alignment. Oh, yeah, Gathering of Nerds. Lethality complex of that group plays in our Tuesday role-playing game. Redcap, give me another D100 roll for the alignment. We'll use the balanced odds. So anyone could be anything. '89. Oh, almost chaotic evil. Though we are at a neutral evil. So Redcap, thank you for redeeming those inspiration points. And if any of you want to claim roles that are still upcoming, but the background role is claimed by Hark, but there are others. There are others to be had, and you can use your inspiration in that way. We have a neutral evil, variant human. Now for character level. Let's make sure that we can explore the capstone. At least the capstone here. For Call the Hunt. Although honestly, I suppose we could just take them all to 20. I don't see why we couldn't. To get just a full look of not just the Path of the Beast, but what a full Path of the Beast Barbarian would look like. So we could probably eschew that role, and we're just going to go straight to a level 20 character, and we are making a Barbarian. I guess we'll put Beast. Path of the Beast. No, Darkwolf, because we're exploring this Unearthed Arcana, the class and subclass is going to be fixed into Path of the Beast Barbarian. Background is claimed, but what we still have... we still have our ability score improvement or feats. And then we also have our 2 personality traits on one roll, or our ideal bond and flaw on one roll. As well as height, weight, and age. Alright, you want whatever one is available? And Solar, do you just want to go for whatever one's available also? Kevin, which traits? Personality traits? Okay, you want the ideal bond and flaw, Darkwolf? Alright, so Black Kevin will get personality traits, and then Darkwolf will get ideal bond and flaw. Alright. Alright, so Solar, you want me to pick. Then why don't... actually, Solar then. Going down, we already have our character level. Then why don't you determine for us... Are we going to be all stat bumps, or are we going to take feats? So Solar, will you please type !roll space 1D100? $57? Oh, we're just a little shy. Now, something that did change Cold Spark, I there's a 10% greater chance that we're going to start seeing feats more often in the characters that we generate here, as those begin on a 66 instead of a 76. Yep, she's back again, everyone. She's got to get attention. All right, now background. Hark wanted to roll for the background, and so if you split out all the options in the player's handbook, there are 18 different backgrounds. Hark, will you please roll an 18-sided die and give us our background? We rolled an 8, which is Guild Artisan. Now, if we come down here to Guild Artisan, doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, we actually are going to have an additional roll to find out which kind of Guild Artisan we are. So we are Guild Artisan number something. Age of Tesla. Will you please give me a D20 roll in chat to determine which kind of artisan? Oh, I'm sorry, that the old commands don't work any longer. We're using MathRock's bot, so it's exclamation point roll. Ah, there we go, yep. Rolled a 9. Guild Artisan number 9. UA is Unearthed Arcana. If you type exclamation point UA, that will bring you to a list of all the Unearthed Arcanas that you can check out. Although the one we're currently looking at, Kromdrade, is this one. And I put a link for you directly in chat. All right, so while we're here on the topic, we can clear out some other requests. Kevin, will you please type exclamation point roll space 2d8? It's a dice rolling bot, Redcap. 5 and 5. Oh no, that's fine. Kevin, give me a 1d8 roll to replace the redundant 5. It's all right. Just give me a 1d8 roll. It is digitally tossing math rocks. Yes, Redcap. And a 1. 5 and a 1. All right. Dark Wolf, will you please roll 3d6 in chat? 422. All right, there we go. Thank you, and we'll explore what this means shortly. Right now, we just need the placeholders as we're framing our character. We're giving it an outline, a silhouette. All right, next up, character class and subclass. That's been chosen for us because we're specifically reviewing Unearthed Arcana in our character creator. If we come down here to our, to show everything off, I mean, here's Barbarian, but there's no options, no class features for subclass stuff on there. But to show you all the new layout and how things would show up to make this process a little easier, to reference the options that would be available to other things. All right, now we need to select a human. A human. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Human variant. Here we go. And now this is where Hark had spent inspiration points to go for the age. And so, Hark, will you give me a percentile roll in chat to determine the age of our character? All right, you rolled an 82, so we have an elderly human. An elderly human. And so, you spent an inspiration, so go ahead and roll this as well. MathRocksBot can actually do this addition, Hark. If you type exclamation point roll space 1d13 plus 63, it will add that together for us. So why don't you give that feature a try? And there we go. 71 years old. All right, now a human's base height. Well, it was a chance, right? We start at 4'8", and then we have a height modifier of 2d10. Let's see. Who? Crumb Draw Day. Will you please type exclamation point roll space 2d10 to give us our height modifier? All right, we're adding 12 inches, so he is 5'8". And then, Chuckles, will you please type exclamation point roll space 2d4 to give us our weight modifier? Hi, Machi. All right, we're taking 12 and multiplying it by 4. So we have 48 plus 110. So he is 158 pounds. Well, thanks for stopping by on your break. It is appreciated. Hopefully hopefully nothing is too crazy for you at work. Oh, hey, Just Otherness. And, Aaron, hello to you. You all are getting some buffering. I'm not showing I'm dropping frames on my end. All right, now we have the outline of our character. From the infinite cosmos of unlimited characters, we have pulled these stars to form a constellation. And now, much like what happens at a planetarium, we're going to outline it. We're going to detail, we're going to fill in our character. Well, I'd say Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm a little biased. As we build a character here in our workshop, I start with the background first. It is not how the player's handbook suggests building a character, but it is just suggesting building a character that way. By beginning character creation with your background, you are giving your character. We're discovering his past, his first job, his hobbies. How does he make decisions? How has he gotten by in life? You know, what kind of a world does he live in where he's reached 71 years old with the type of personality he's currently manifesting? Oh, yes, I agree, Redcap. I very much enjoy the music and the storytelling and... But then again, I also played Final Fantasy XI, and I stuck with it even when WoW came out and was the fresh hotness. It writes itself. You are right, Crumdrade. Grindel's Skull, good to see you again. Darkwolf, yes. That hasn't been implemented yet, though there is still more to come for character creation and other workshop things. So you are... that is a way to go about it. But it's not something I have incorporated into the process yet. We'll look into it though, about getting that more officially involved. But for now, we will use our imaginations, and we'll group think about how a character like this can exist. So everyone, I know you didn't come to class without your player's handbooks. Come on. Open them up to Chapter 4. Open them up to Chapter 4. Y'all know the drill. Come on. And we are going to go to Guild Merchant. Whoop, I scrolled too far. Well, I'm sorry, not Merchant. We're technically the Artisan, not the Variant. Yeah, oh, alright. Can someone please share your player's handbook with Tesla? Apparently someone forgot to bring their book to class. Alright, we're a guild artisan, which is going to give us insight and persuasion proficiency. We are going to be proficient in one type of artisan's tools, and you know which type that'll be? Yes, we rolled number 9 on the 20 different types of guild artisan. That is going to be glassblowers and glaziers. So we are going to have proficiency with glassblowers tools. Solar, you forgot yours. Come on. Your physical copy is falling apart. So yeah, your player's handbook has a little character of its own, doesn't it? Mine, Redcap, mine is too. There's like a chunk that just kind of keeps falling out, and honestly, I think I got to take my player's handbook out back and put it down. It's getting to be about that time. Alright, so we are a glass blower. Languages, we get one of our choice. So as a human, we get common and one other, and this is going to give us yet another. Don't replace it with a Rick and Morty version of the player's handbook. What is, what... I know there's like the starter set, but does it have some variant rules or something in there? What's a barbarian if he doesn't have glassware? Well, yeah. I mean, he may not necessarily be a savage, per se. Or this could be a way to find something calming to do. You have him on D&D. Yeah, it's heartbreaking when your physical book breaks down. A simplified PHB with quote-unquote humor. Maybe Elvish. This is something that we can that we'll discover along the way. I mean, we could always keep it with. If we don't, I'm not saying we have to fill it in, or maybe we do because something does come up. Though remember, at the end of the week, all these PDFs of the character creator or the character sheet go up on Discord so that you can download the character and play around with them. Yeah, someone has to make the mead containers. Right? How else are you going to brew mead if you don't have big glass jars? That's true. Maybe he'll just and go for the shank. Darkwolf has her mind exactly where it needs to be. We're going to get a set of Artisan's tools, so we'll be carrying around some Glassblower tools. Now, here, close by, there's an amusement park called Cedar Point, and if you go to their Frontier Trail, they actually have a custom glass blowing shop that you can buy souvenirs at, but you can also sit down in workshops and they'll show you how they make different items. It's really cool. And I'll tell you, some of their tools would make for very interesting weapons. And if you are of a neutral evil bend, you may be willing to use those glass blowing tools in very creative ways in order to perhaps get information from people, or to, you know, to surprise them. All right, Raven. Well, thank you at least for popping in and saying hi. Yeah, barbarians don't have to be savages. In fact, one of the very first barbarians we made in the channel was a noble background barbarian, and it was simply that he was very martially trained. And he had frustrations growing up as a noble because his family just was always telling him what to do, and he was under immense pressure. He loved someone from another noble house, which actually ended up being another noble character we randomly generated. It was like the first time that the concept of it writes itself came into being in the channel. And so it was kind of a star-crossed lover thing. And so while he was a barbarian, he wasn't a primal savage. He was a noble, brought up in a noble house. It's simply that he was, you know, his stress, his frustrations, the time when he gets to not be a noble, he lived it up in that regard. Hey, Daly. Oh, and your stepdaughter is a glassblower. Oh, well then, Chris, if you have any particular, like, some cool insight into how this kind of a character might employ the tools, or it be a part of the character's lifestyle, then, hey, shout it out. So we have our glassblower's tools. A letter of introduction from our guild. Now, this could be just that, showing that we are a member of the guild. It could even be a trinket of some kind that we carry, a badge, or, well, I said the word trinket, and perhaps that could be, we could take our inspiration and use it to roll up a trinket, which could represent our membership in the glassblowing guild. So we'll put membership trinket number something, and hey, GM Vault, Chris, will you give me a percentile roll in chat, ! roll space 1d100, to let us know which kind of a trinket is acting as our proof of membership? You can access it on your screen right now, Redcap. It's not a publicly shared one. However, the spreadsheet that I made it on in Open Office originally is available in our Table Talk section on Discord. You could download it. It was a pinned message there. Rolled a 32. All right. And we'll see what that trinket is in a little bit. I don't know what it is offhand. Shame on me for not memorizing the 100 trinket table. We're going to get a set of traveler's clothes. And a belt pouch containing 15 gapuz. Very good. So we know we are a glassblower. Our background feature is guild membership, which can be very powerful. You can have economic sway, political sway. You might know a lot of notable private and public officials. It's a source of income. Of course, there is an expense. You talk about talk to your DM about it. But the guild membership feature is very flexible and can be very powerful for a roleplay character. Hey, Gamoos. Hello to you. Yeah, shame! It's different Game of Thrones, yeah. Our characteristics, well, we have our 2 personality traits, which are 5 and 1. The first personality trait, can I make that a little bit bigger for you? Hopefully that helps. Hey, Demon. Oh my goodness, Just, you actually have a shame emote? That is cool. So this is from the entity left hand. So, Just Otherness, you got to give me context. What is that channel about that they have a shame emote? Personality trait number 5 is I'm rude to people who lack my commitment to hard work and fair play. And our second personality trait is number 1. I believe that anything worth doing...
Many fall in the face of chaos, but not this one. Not today.
Not today. Sorry, that was a little bit louder than what I had hoped. Still, thank you very much. Gamoos, thank you for the host. It was my fault for the volume being a little wonky on that. I hope that didn't hope that didn't startle anyone's cats or whatever. Chris, you played a fighter that was part of Furniture Woodworking Guild, and the DM did a great job incorporating some elements of that into our game. And it's that integration that I love, and I hope that many DMs out there will take that inspiration. When a friend or family member of yours that wants to play D&D hands you a character sheet, they're building a story for you. They're building the world for you. It's way less stress that way, and it really hooks the player in through the character that they want to get involved. In. So I believe anything worth doing is worth doing right. I can't help it. I'm a perfectionist. Our ideal is number 4, greed. I'm only in it for the money. Now, yes, we did roll a neutral evil character, and this does say evil in parentheses. There's nothing saying that we couldn't have a generosity ideal as a neutral evil character. It's not mutually exclusive. This lines up so that we have someone who is going to be more selfish, more self-centered. This would be a more, perhaps, natural alignment, though it is fine. Hopefully it wasn't a spin out or something. I'm like, when do the Mongolian steppes have a siren? No, there was a passing, I don't know, maybe police car? I didn't see any flashing lights or anything, but if y'all are having winter weather, make sure that you are driving safely, please. Also, you know, fire risks. Please mitigate those. It's redundant, I'm sure, for all of you out there, but to throw it out there. So anyway, yeah, if this was a lawful good character, we could still have greed as our ideal. Remember, your alignment doesn't completely define who your character is or your decision making. It's the way that your character expresses him or herself. What happens after the brain to mouth filter or the brain to hand filter? Our bond is number 2. I created a great work for someone and then found them unworthy to receive it. I'm still looking for someone worthy. And our flaw is number 2. I'm quick to assume that someone is trying to cheat me. I'm quick to assume that someone is trying to cheat me. Given our age, given our advancement of our ability to... I mean, we survived to be a level 20 barbarian, right? This seems to be more of a miserly take. Someone who does work hard. You know, maybe kind of like an Ebenezer Scrooge. Though instead of a feeble accountant, we have a super strong glass-blowing barbarian Ebenezer Scrooge. You know, someone who is more self-centered. I'm in it for the money. I'm in it for the craftsmanship, so I can prove to myself, let alone assert dominance on other people. I mean, if we're the aspect of the beast, let's use our subclass as a part of our personality as well. Can we assert dominance as this beast on people economically, socially, professionally? And, you know, just as if we're a guild artisan and we're doing accounting and we got to square up our T accounts, we want to T-pose on everyone as well. I found a secret compartment in an armoire of a noble because of you being an artisan. Oh, Chris, I love stories like that. Otherness says it's a Dead by Daylight channel where the streamer kind of roleplays the game's killer character. I think the shame emote is for when everyone sees a victim make an embarrassing misplay. Oh, well, if you get to talk to that streamer, let them know that I very much enjoy that emote. That's a fun one. Phone's being less than cooperative. All right, Kevin. Hopefully it'll clear up, and we'll see you back. If not later tonight, then later in the week. A great work like an enchanted flask, perhaps. I mean, I don't see why we couldn't have a glass flask. Bear and beer steins. All right, Chris. Chris is going to be BRB. How's the week going, Ooze? It's been good so far. Thank you. Hopefully this winter weather blowing through isn't going to be too terrible. But I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Because you know what? I'm all sorts of comfy cozy, and I'm tucked in for the night. So the barbarian's last name is Swarovski. Hey, PV, welcome. Good to see you again. Maybe make some strong crystal. Oh yeah, look at that mead horn. Wonderful. All right, so we have our personality. Can you all already start to imagine this character in your minds? He's 71. He is a barbarian, so I mean strong. He's a glass blower. This Path of the Beast we'll explore in the document here shortly. But his personality, regardless if he was a wizard or a barbarian or whatever, I'm rude to people who lack my commitment to hard work and fair play. Now, what is the meaning of fair play? Is it laissez-faire? Is he willing to be the bull in the china shop, and if you can't stop him, then you aren't a good enough shopkeep or artisan? You know, is fair play to him kind of a survival of the fittest? He is selfish. He is neutral evil. He will put his own needs and goals above others more often than not. Now, he's lived to be 71. I seriously doubt he goes around burning down orphanages and kicking puppies in the street every day. So he may be evil. He's not stupid. he is not overtly evil to the point where, you know, people in the community might just consider him to be cantankerous. He might be that get off my lawn kind of a Scrooge character. He might very well have fired people from his glass blowing because they were, you know, yeah, they're trying to get money for you know, their little kid to get a surgery or something, to get a healing. But you know what? He dropped that that glass vase. Bye. I don't care if your kid's sick. You're here to work. Game Moves, I'll let you know, I think we have most of the roles already for this character, but we are going to make a second character tonight as well. Entitled Royals would be unworthy to this, you think, to this character? That could be. You know, someone who can't appreciate the work that was put in. Fair play like a ruthless artisan, get that gold. Yeah, Chuckles. Hey, don't apologize. Don't apologize, Base. If your band's been on tour, if you're traveling, having fun, you know, earning money, so that you can, you know, pay your bills and live, you know, dumb stuff like that, I'm happy for you. And even if you have been on tour, then thank you for stopping by, for taking a minute to do so. Could be like the enemy ace pilot in AC-7, just with animals instead of airplanes. I don't get the reference, Tesla. I'm sorry. Like the new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix, Rough Cut. Yeah, so just someone who, you know, he's in it for the craft, he's in it for himself, and other people, you know, other people be damned. It's his work, his glass. He's building his reputation and earning his coin. He, you know, and so we could go back and say, what led a person down this path? And that's a whole other fun adventure to go on. Though, for purposes of keeping things going, I think we have a good idea. We have a rough idea of who we're dealing with here. And we can always fine-tune the details on the way. Now we're going to go to human, which, wouldn't you know, humans are found in the player's handbook of all places. We are going to make a variant human, and so 2 different ability scores are going to increase by 1. We're going to gain proficiency in a skill of our choice and a feat of our choice. So I'm going to come down here. Feet. We're going to get 1 to something here. I definitely think con, if you're working around fire, if you're working around a lot of fire, then that would be something, you know, you want to be a little tougher. You know, Dex or Strength is also very tempting. I wonder if a part of me, though, wouldn't want to drop it into Wisdom or Charisma. Well, I'm going to float it in it. I'm going to put it in Intelligence just so we know that we're floating it as a reminder. Of course, we're getting a skill of our choice as well. I wonder what kind of a skill. If we are a Glassblower, do you think something like Sleight of Hand might be... Sleight of Hand might be a good method for either to focus on glassblowing? Or would it be something like Investigation if we want to determine the price or market value? Would he have knowledge of nature to try and determine the finest ingredients? Would he have training in perception? So he can judge with his eye. You know, oh yes, the flames are the right color for the proper temperature. Would he have training in medicine because he's actually had to deal with burns and such before? Would fair play? How about this? You know, anything worth doing is worth doing right. I'm agreed. I'm in it for the money. Would he actually have training in deception? Or, you know, go back to, let's bring it back to the personality. Our personality is going to tell us everything we need to know here. You know, we're rude. Intimidation could come up. He is a perfectionist. He says it's worth doing right. I don't know if he's the type that would skimp out on materials and then try and wheedle people, because he would eventually he'd have a bad reputation. Right? He creates great works. He's quick to assume someone's trying to cheat him. He already does have insight to help support that. The best fakes east of the Ganges River. Strength needs to be high. Glassblowing is going to take big lung capacity, which also helps with swimming. All right. You know what? You're twisting my arm, Tesla. I guess I'll put a 1 in strength on our Barbarian. The thing we're doing right could be the scam if we're picking deception. Hey, if we want to say that it, you know, that he is he's a trickster, we could, yeah. It could be. Oh, what about this? Oh, what about this, everyone? What if he takes performance? So his glass blowing is a performance itself, and he sells the work by also by selling himself in this way. Or performance could just be he's a really good infomercial presenter. Barbarian Maze here for glass tape sealer. Something like that. A slap chop maze. On a Barbarian, you got to watch out for that. But yeah, let me know which skill that we're gonna get from our variant human. What would you like him to have that would help define his character? You know, as much as we're like, we gotta have a character with perception. Let's think outside the meta of perception is a strong skill, because not everyone's perceptive in this world. You know, let's think about the character, because we're gonna grow our characters from themselves and not worry about statistical analyses of, you know, of the relevance of whatever in any situation. This is a character that's lived to be 71, being a barbarian glassblower. What skills does he have? Or which, I should say. Opposite of perceptive, lucky, deceptive. Just otherness. You did ask, I believe there's... I just fiddled around with these with the bot settings, and I forget offhand what the command is that would... just otherness. If you can hang on to it, I'll look it up on break, because if you posted a link right now, I think it would nuke you. It wouldn't ban you or anything, but it would give you like a 6-second timeout for it, and it would erase your messages. So if you hang on to it, I'll look into it, because I was just fiddling around with commands and I forget what it is offhand. All right, so I'm seeing deception, and so we're gonna put in deception. And then there's our feat, so of course we'll get that when we get it. Dark vision, we have 0 dark vision for being a human. We are medium sized, 30 run, 15 climb, 15 swim, 0 fly. Oh, thank you, Dark Wolf. Hey, Dark Wolf being a mod and being better than the broadcaster, who is literally the worst. work. Thank you, Miss Awu. All right, now we're going to build 20 levels of Barbarian. Just straight up Barbarian as per the class. We're going to save the subclass for last. Our proficiency bonus is +6. And we are going to have unlimited rages. Let me clear this unnecessary info here. Rage, we have unlimited and +4 damage. We are a D12 hit die class, and as we're level 20, wouldn't you know, we get 20 of them, so that we can recover D12 hit points per hit die spent on a rest without needing potions or healing spells. And isn't that lovely? Armor, we are proficient with light armor and medium armor, as well as shields. We are proficient with simple and martial weapons. And we get no tool proficiencies for being a barbarian. Our saving throws are going to be strength and constitution. And now we are going to get to choose 2 skills from animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. Which 2 skills do you think would fit this kind of a character, this kind of a personality? Animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. I'm thinking intimidation, yeah. Does he have a pet? He could. Nothing in his background, such as how an urchin gives you a little pet mouse or something, explicitly gives him a pet. If he was, nor does the variant on Guild Artisan of Guild Merchant grant you a donkey and a cart, though that doesn't mean that this character might not have an animal of some kind. You know, maybe as a barbarian he does keep a mastiff or something. You think perception and nature, Crumdrade? What's your elevator pitch for that? I certainly can see intimidation going, and so Gamus, I resonate there. But I am interested in the. I mean, when I say argument, it's not like you have to make a strong case, because I think a lot of these really fit. Knows the right sands and plants to make glasses and dyes. Ah, so he can control his ingredients. Oh, no, Gamus, you're fine. Don't worry. You need a certain amount of perception to be able to manipulate glass, too. Maybe he knows about some poisons? Perhaps, if we want to give him the nature. Okay, so you know what? I think nature would work so that his ingredients are right. If you could counter-suggest things that are possible, I can learn over time, but I do not want you going out of your way to teach me. I'll have to find a good walkthrough for base... what? I don't understand, Gamus. A walkthrough on what? Because we're just having a conversation. This is just human interaction. Hey, Drizzkill. You like contacts with some of the features? Well, Gamoos, that's fine. If something seems right to you, shout it out. You don't I mean, context, context can matter in many cases. Though if you're just kind of floating along, or even if you come into this workshop in the middle of it, if you have a question, you can always ask for context, or if something just feels right, shout it out and we can discuss it. This isn't, this is a bunch of friends sitting at a table in a game store, creating imaginary D&D characters together. What kind of a person would be this way? In Gamoos, intimidation absolutely resonates with me. And so I was calling on the other people to say, well, what would you reason for your own suggestions? Because we all have our reasons, and they may be different, but they're still reasons all the same. Yeah, no ideas, bad. Pitch them. There's no... If I ever come across as making anyone feel on the spot or awkward or somehow like segregated from the community because I asked you for, well, just, you said perception, why? You have your reason. I'm way open-minded. This is not my character. This is our character. Yeah, see, demons along for the ride. Because this is storytelling, which is intrinsic to all human beings. If you need to know, what does an ability mean? Hey, ask about it. That's fine. We're still making characters that live, breathe, interact. They live in a society where they have to socialize. They spend or make money. They're subjected to social forces. They're agents of justice or victims of injustice, just like any of us are. Yeah, well, I'm glad this is almost therapeutic in a way then, Gamoos. Oh, well, Solar, I'm glad. And Solar, the D&D time characters that I play on Fridays have been made in this workshop. And so if you ever want help, in fact, I'll tell you, Solar, in our character creator, the D&D time, their custom homebrew content is available here as well. But yeah, Solar, if you're comfortable and you want to go, go rando with it, then yeah, we can absolutely help you with that. All right, so I do agree. Perception can come in handy here, but you know what, Gamoos, you said intimidation. I'm resounding with that. So I'm going to make the executive decision and give him intimidation as well. You could probably find more variation in real life people. Well, yes, because Aaron, I mean, these are distilled elements that, it's not truly unlimited, I guess, in that way. It's just our interpretation of them is. But you're correct. I mean, the world is full of all kinds of different people. All right, so we have our skills there. And by the way, if any of you think differently, just when this character is finished and is uploaded on our Discord, download it. And you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but switch around the dots. All right, equipment. We're making a level 20 character. I'm not worried. If we have a strength-based weapon or a dex-based weapon, here's where we're going to calculate our to hits. I'm not worried about the weapon that this person is wielding. In fact, I'm kind of getting the impression that this Barbarian, I don't think this Barbarian might have the best dexterity. I think we're going to be a medium armor-wearing Barbarian with a shield. Especially because when you're a Glassblower and you have, like, the heavy leathers and chain and whatnot, I think we're actually going to have a limited dex Barbarian. We're going to have an armor Barbarian. Or reliant more on armor than on unarmored defense. So anyway, we rage. We already have that written down. Now, for character creation, I'm not going to go over all the abilities because these are in the player's handbook. They are in free-to-access system resource documents, SRDs, and you can read this stuff yourself. We are going to get unarmored defense. We are going to get reckless attack so that we can swing more wildly but also be swung on with more accuracy. We're going to get danger sense, which is accenting our dexterity saving throws. We have advantage on dex saving throws. Our primal path, well, that's the Unearthed Arcana that we're going to get to, so we'll worry about that in a little bit. Ability score improvements, we're going to get 5 of them. We're not going to worry about it. Scores are going to be like the last thing that we put on this character. Scores are important for the mechanics of D&D. The scores are derivative of who the character is. I would argue your score should reflect your character, not the other way around. We get an extra attack. Oh, fast movement. That is going to bring us up to 40 foot, run, 20 climb, 20 swim. We're going to get brutal critical. And as we are 17th level or higher, we get 3 additional dice when we get a crit. Brutal critical, plus 3 dice. Feral instinct. We can act normally in a surprise situation. Oh, did I already put feral instinct? Oh, I guess brutal critical came after. Oh, well, that's fine. Relentless rage. We can keep fighting despite grievous wounds. And then we get... actually, relentless rage transforms into, or I guess is accented by, persistent rage. And then at 18th level, we have indomitable might. And then, beginning at 18th level, if your total for a strength check is less than your strength score, you can use that score in place of the total. Ooh! Primal Champion at level 20. At 20th level, you embody the power of the wilds. Your strength and constitution scores increase by 4. Your maximum for those scores is now 24. And so when we do get... I'm just going to float a note here that we get plus 4s in these. There are various free basic rules. In fact, Solar, on the D&D Time website, there is a link to the free official rules that can help get you started. I can't... There's no link I can give you to download a player's handbook, save for if you visit D&D Beyond. Or I believe some of the virtual tabletops like Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 allow you the option to purchase a player's handbook as well. Hey, Shukan. Oh, yeah, Shukan. Please do. This is an excellent night to just flop in front of the fireplace and get toasty. And Chris Ayer's back. Welcome back, Chris. Alright, so we are now a level 20 Barbarian. Just a bare bones Barbarian. Now we're gonna dip, boop boop, into the subclass. Path of the Beast. Barbarians who walk the Path of the Beast draw their rage from a bestial spark burning within their souls. That beast howls, ooh, to be released and bursts forth in throes of rage. Those who tread this path might be inhabited by a primal spirit or descended from shapeshifters. You can choose the origin of your feral might or determine it randomly by rolling on the Origin of the Beast table. Well, I'll tell you what, Game Moves, you asked if there was another roll to be had. I'll tell you what, type exclamation point roll space 1d4, and why don't you help us decide what kind of a beast? Because this is saying being a barbarian is more like being a lycanthrope. You rolled a 2. You are descended from a legendary druid, a fact manifested by your ability to partially change shape. So we have origin. I'm going to abbreviate this, druid descendant. Next is form of the beast. When you enter your rage, you can transform, revealing the bestial power within you. Until your rage ends, you manifest a natural melee weapon, choosing one of the following options each time you rage. Bite. Your mouth transforms into a bestial snout or great mandibles. Your bite deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit on each of your turns. When you damage a creature with your bite, you regain a number of hit points equal to your constitution modifier, minimum 1. So you're biting them and like you're eating their flesh or drinking their blood to restore yourself. Claws. Your hands transform into claws, which deal 1d6 slashing damage on a hit. When you take the attack action on your turn and make an attack with your claws, you can make one additional attack using your claws as part of the same action. Or a tail. You grow a lashing, spiny tail, which deals 1d12 piercing damage on a hit and has the reach property. Well, we can manifest any of these game moves, and so this is what this would do is in a combat situation, when you go into a rage, you can grow a portion that you think would fit the situation the most. Oh, the bite might stack with the lizard folk hungry jaws. I did not consider that, Dark. Well, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, we're kind of double dipping in that case, right? Bear claws would be great for shaping glass. Or if we go to something like what Dark, I don't know about bear paws because there's all the fur on, you know, and if we're dealing, if we're going to be around fire, but maybe some scaly hands of some kind. Maybe some, you know, kind of like a lizard folk, maybe some alligator hands or something, some armored scales. You know, so maybe we rage when we go into a craftsmanship's, like, a fit of passion. You know, when we're blowing the glass and everything. You know, can you imagine, like, you walk into a workshop, there's a fire, so all you see is this hulking silhouette of the craftsman. And, you know, there's just like a... And you're seeing this powerful frame kind of like huff and puff. And then the light in the room just grows a little bit brighter as the fires are fed, you know, through the bellows or through the lungs. And then the character like sets down the project and you just hear this grumbling. So, you arrived. And on time. I respect that. And suddenly the glass-blowing craftsman like turns around, and as you do, you see like you think it's a trick of the eye from the dancing fires of the glass-blowing forge. But what you see is his bestial form, like the remnants of it retreating back into him, as he then like emerges from the shadows and the low light to where you're at, and you have to do a double take because yeah, so he is human, but I swear for a second he had, you know, he had scales or he had slitted eyes that glowed in the dim light. Well, Shukan, I mean, hey, make sure that you know, you're taking care of yourself, and you know you've saved for anything that needs saving and taking care of your family. But you know, if there's anything you need, just, well, let me know and I'll see what I can do. A beast aspect to increase your breath power, so you can blow up a glass and it explodes. And you know what? Your DM might even allow for something like that. I don't know, to give you a little increased lung capacity or something. So we have our Form of the Beast. We also get our Bestial Soul. The feral spirit within you grows in power, causing the natural weapons of your Form of the Beast to count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. You can also call on the feral spirit to help you adapt to your surroundings. When you finish a short or long rest, choose one of the following benefits, which lasts until you finish a short or long rest. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. So that could be more of a, you know, an amphibious or a reptilian. Well, reptiles can't breathe underwater, but you get what I'm saying. We do take on a crocodilian aspect. You gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed. So we get like big old gorilla arms or something. Or insectoid even, right? You can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. When you jump, you can make a strength athletics check and extend your jump by a number of feet equal to the check's total. You can make this special check only once per turn. Oh, hey, Fiara! Hello! Hey, Moonhoof! Roll20 crit fail stream. Oh no, did Roll20 derp out? I was having some trouble with it last night for RRP. It was getting a little hung up. Like, I don't know if the system resources or something was lagging, but it was being a little derpy. But my goodness, hi everyone. Let's give a shout out to Fiara, the tank girl, no spaces.
Sphäre des Zufalls, bitte.
Sound a feasting horn.
Sound of feasting horn. Lens, thank you very much for the follow. And can you translate that for me, Shukan? Por favor. Toki. Alright, Toki, if you're taking off, you're welcome to stick around. We're having an excellent character creation workshop. If I kept getting the worst rolls, everyone's skill they should be good at, and they flopped. Oh, no. But you know what? Those aren't failures. Those are story, those are roleplay opportunities. If you look at them as roleplay opportunities, then... Yeah, Shukan, I don't have capsules for tonight. I probably won't have capsules for this week. Just because I got to make sure that everything is taken care of first before I add to it. If you want to go for a box, I can do a box. But that would be your choice. If you wanted to go to the part fund, I sincerely appreciate it. Octaluna, all right. Well, be well if you're going to bounce out of here. Thank you all for coming along in the raid. I failed something so hard I tasted purple. Oh, hey, an anonymous gifter. Well, Fiara, welcome from an anonymous gifter. Gamoos asks, how can I practice in solo adventure with simulated tablet? Can you clarify that a little bit, Gamoos? I don't know if I fully got what you're going for there. And you know what? I don't think that I spammed our lovely emotes here for our raiding friends. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. All right, so once more, we're modular, not just in attack, but also in how we're mobile, or what we can do here. We also then get Infectious Fury. When you hit a creature with your natural weapons while you are raging, the spirit within you can curse your target with rabid fury. The Target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or suffer one of the following effects, your choice. The target must use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice that you can see, or the target takes 2d12 psychic damage as you spread this this shifting madness through your claws. So it's kind of like having, so there's the bestial, the path of the beast here is kind of like a lycanthropy. So instead of just as a monster, or even a race like shifters, but of course you can have a shifter barbarian on this path. It is taking that aspect and implementing it as a subclass. $10 to the part fund. Oh well, thank you very much. It is very appreciated, Shukan. Spiritual rabies. There you go. I guess I could use the bot, but I'm not really sure what you need to start building a character, or what's the process, Game Ooze? Is a full tower overkill? I don't know. In reference to the computer? That and how to run an adventure as a DM. So Game Ooze, that would be... It's not an impossible question, though that's something that's more of a conversation that if you go to we have an RP workshop on our Discord, and myself and others can absolutely help get you started there, but it's nothing that I can give a quick answer to in this character builder workshop. It's nothing that's big and intimidating. It's not super complex. It's just not something that I can address in the moment. Next, we have Call the Hunt. The beast within grows so powerful that you can spread its ferocity to your allies. When you enter your rage, you can choose a number of willing creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, equal to your Constitution modifier. Until your rage ends, the chosen creatures gain the Reckless Attack feature, and you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. You also gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts the benefit. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. And so Call the Hunt is con per long rest. So a full tower case would be overkill since I'm not planning to go overboard. So Shukan, I think you need to preface that with what... I mean, if you're building a computer, but you just want a little Raspberry Pi board to do some simple stuff, or, then a full tower case, I think, would be way overkill. So I guess it would be, if you were wanting to build a computer or something, that's something that you could take... that you could talk about on the channel, and other computer nerds, and I say that with all due respect, just like they helped me with the build that I'd like to upgrade for this channel, they might be able to help you and determine an appropriate case and size. But I guess asking the question in a vacuum about having a full tower, I don't know if you're going to get the best answer because there's no context to it. Oh, I mean, I imagine in most cases, though daily, I was just addressing what Shukan was asking, because I don't know what the ultimate goal would be. A small ITX system. I don't know what that is. Y'all are speaking in a language I don't get. So here we go. We've built most of our character. There's a little bit left to do. We understand who our character is. Now we understand how our character functions. We need to find the medium through which this is going to apply to the tabletop. And how do we do that? Ability scores. And also we have to dip into our feat, as we get a feat by being a human. And before we apply our ability scores, or even if we go, if we put the standard array in first, I would imagine we're going to go 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. Now, if you think differently, let me know. Hey, Senin, welcome back. That means that we would have a constitution of 16 from our racial modifier and a strength of 15 from our racial modifier. And we could get another stat bump, possibly, depending on the feat that we choose. And I wonder, is there a feat, for any of you who are familiar with them, that you think this character, if we're going to go for a medium armor and shield-wielding barbarian who's a miserly glassblower, what would this character take? Alert would be a good one. Even athlete would be a good one too. Although I think athlete might be redundant with some of the powers that we're going to get from our subclass. There's some armor abilities that we could take. Or we could be a pool of hit points. And we could take what, tough? Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your level. This would just give us a huge pool of hit points. We don't need to worry about magic. And I don't know if this person, we have quasi-magical abilities in our path. I don't know if this is a type of person that would be, that would dip further. I mean, maybe druid. We are the descendant of a druid. Roleplay wise, maybe mechanically, if he wants to support something with a druid ritual. Shield Master could be interesting, as that would, that would go a little bit into our danger sense, so I don't know if there would be redundancy per se. Being a tavern brawler, we're going to get claws and mandibles and all this. This could, we're proficient with improvised weapons, which could be glass blowing tools, or what Dark Wolf was saying, where we have our own glass creations and we know just how they break for extra shankability. And grappling someone like this, this could be huge. Tavern Brawler might be a good one. Medium Armor Master could be something. Wearing medium armor doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks. And then we could also bump up, we could get one more AC out of our medium armor as well. Or honestly, we could also just go heavily armored and be a heavy armor wearing barbarian. Just go full plate mail, shield, and just go ham on people. I don't know, what are you all thinking? What type of a direction would you want to take this barbarian glassblower in? And by the way, Lucky is pretty universally good, and so for the most part, unless the character absolutely is just screaming, I may not exist without luck on my side. I normally do not that I don't allow Lucky, it's just I don't consider Lucky because it's just anyone could have that. I like the old miser idea with medium armor. Well, so that's not going to change. What I'm searching for right now, Chuckles, is which feat are we going to take that could enhance that theme? Because nothing we're doing... So you think a heavy armor barbarian? Maybe he's even made... Maybe he's discovered some way to make tempered glass. And so his heavy armor could be something like that. Sure, we'll give him heavy armor. We gain proficiency, so we're going to take heavily armored. And that is going to increase his strength by 1. And honestly, then, his dex probably doesn't have to be this high. And what we could probably do is drop that 13 in charisma, because he is way more charismatic. A 12 in wisdom. A 10 in intelligence. And you know what? He's an older person. He's also been around glass blowing and whatnot. His dexterity... I don't know, maybe he has some arthritis going. You know, he does also have danger sense, which accents it. It gives him a better chance. But maybe dexterity just isn't his thing. The gentleman role player. Oh, good to see you again. Well, I hope it works well at the tabletop. Did you... was that referencing Ghosts of Saltmarsh? Or was this... is this just like a side thing, or what was the context for that, gentleman role player? Maybe shape-shifting certain creature forms can give us... I don't believe any of them gave a dex bonus, mechanically, Game Ooze, from what we were reading over. Though, yeah, it's... So, I mean, conceptually, we could shift into things that might be that way, but if we're looking at the mechanics, we don't get a mechanical benefit from it to Dex. Gotcha. Well, I hope everyone has fun at your tabletop with that. All right, now that we have our starting scores, remember we get stat bumps at 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19. That means we get 10 points. 10 points to drop into our scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Game Ooze, yes, when you rage, you become resistant to non-magical damage. Yep, inspiration is a sort of an auto-include emote. If we use 8 of those, then we would go to strength. We have old man strength. Strength 20, con 20. And that would drop us down here. And well, do we want Senin, do we want to bring up the dex? Or would we... he's a very charismatic person. He has a forceful personality as well. And while we would only get the benefit... of another +1, if we drop those 2 and bring it to 15, it would bring our charisma modifier up 1. I think that this would help support him being not just a force of strength, but a force of personality as well. That's right, don't mess with the old man strength. Man, if you ever seen like an old drill sergeant, and you're like, oh wow, you know, he was in the Marines or whatever, look, he's got like a little potbelly. I promise you, that old drill sergeant, all that like potbelly fat has actually like it's crystallized. It is like it's it's defensive armor is what that is. Well, would arthritis be a constitution thing, or would it be a dexterity thing? Because it's affecting manual dexterity. But we don't have to explain it as arthritis if we don't want to. Your grandfather was in World War II, then a boxer, then a firefighter. I swear he could bench a Volkswagen. Oh, wow, Demon. Definitely a dex thing, says Dark Wolf. And gentleman role player, I'm glad you're having a fun inspiration streak with your creation. All right, so there's our points. Now, remember, as an epic level barbarian, we get +4 to strength and con, which also increase our limit. So strength and con are both going to 24. And now we can translate our ability scores all the way across the sheet into everything else. In this case, this is going to be a +7, as will con. Dexterity is a -1. Intelligence is 0. Wisdom is 1. Charisma is 2. No, we took a feat, gentlemen, as we had a variant human. That is going to give us a strength saving throw of 13 and an athletics of 7. Dexterity, we're just going to copy and paste this -1 all the way down. Constitution saving throws of 13. Nature is going to be a 6. Wisdom. Everything's 1 except insight, which is 7. And for charisma, we have an 8, 8, and an 8 for those 3 skills. Our passive perception is going to be 11, as that's 10 plus our perception modifier. Yeah, who needs immunity, right? Armor class, we took heavily armored. And so, I mean, he can wear full plate mail and use a shield. Also, he's epic level. So, full plate and a shield is already at 20. If it's enchanted, he's made stuff magical himself with his skills, who knows? So for armor class, I mean, I'll indicate he uses a shield, but for armor class, I don't know. I'm just going to put a big old X. Because that's whatever you want to equip to this barbarian. By whatever he'd get by level 20. Initiative is a -1. Hit points. Ooh, goodness. So at level 1, we get the full 12 of our hit die. Then for our remaining 19 of our 20, because we already have our hit points from our first hit die, or for our first level, we get half +1, unless your DM says otherwise, half +1 of your hit die, which is 7. Then for all, and by the way, this is why like tough would also be acceptable on this character. We get bonus hit points for all of each of our levels, all 20 of them, equal to our Constitution modifier. And so here we go. So this is going to be 56, so 126. And then this is going to be 140. So that's going to be 266 plus 12 is 278. Our Barbarian has 278 hit points at level 20 and is rocking at least a 20 armor class, unless there's any other like magical stuff on the shield or the armor or whatever else is going on with this Barbarian. If we're attacking with a strength weapon, we're swinging at a plus 13. With a dex-based weapon, a plus 5. We have no spells to worry about. There is a save against one of our archetype effects, the Infectious Fury, and that is based off of Constitution. And so while it's not an attack, if we come over here, that is 13, right? Your modifier plus your proficiency. And then you simply add 8. All saves add 8 as this floating static number. And so you need a 21 to save against our Infectious Fury. And really, for Call the Hunt, as this is a con per long rest, we can simply move Call the Hunt here to our sort of our usable, like a, key points, sorcery points or whatever, lay on hands. And so we could just put 7 over here, and that would actually free up a line, boop, like that. How about that, huh? And you know what? Our character no longer is a set of numbers. He has earned himself a name. And so if any of you have suggestions for this character, hey, let me know. The last thing I want to do, if you recall, we rolled a trinket, which is going to be, proof of his membership in the Glassblowers Guild. This could also even tie in to his bond, which is I created a great work for someone and then found them unworthy to receive it. I'm still looking for someone worthy. Number 32 was rolled. And let's find out in chapter 5. I hope you all have your books. Let's go to the trinket section and discover what the great work is, and or what is his proof for being some master glassblower. 32 is a knife that belonged to a relative. A knife that belonged to a relative. Could this then, if we're making glass armor, could the relative have discovered a way to, again, make like a tempered glass? A strong glass. And remember, we are born from a druid. Druids do not wear metal armor. Well, hey, so Darkwolf, this could be some kind of a druidic glass knife. Maybe it was formed from a... fumarole is not the correct word for it. What is it when lightning strikes sand and makes... I think we could just call it lightning glass. I think there's a specific name for it. And you know what, Solar? The relative could be deceased. Could even be an in-law. It could be a relative in so much that we consider our bestial spirit as kindred to us. You're correct in that we can look at the prompt and use its core concept, but what do we want it to be ultimately? So yeah, everyone, it writes itself. Capital M, lowercase IWI. It was randomly rolled that we had a powerful druid family member, and we learned the trade, and also we inherited these shape-shifting gifts as a barbarian from this relative. Maybe our neutral evil is that we're miserly, or rather, because of this bestial influence, we're just, you know, we don't interact with people the same way. Because maybe we did grow up in the wilds, or we were trained differently. And so in civilized society, we do come across as neutral evil, as antisocial, as, you know, sort of grating in some way. Oh, that'd be cool, Solar. You like him staying true to the druid lifestyle? Yeah, so he's been trying to strengthen glass and unlock the secrets of the sands. Yeah. All right, so everyone, I'm going to get up and take about a 10-minute break, get something to eat and drink, do a couple stretches, look outside and hopefully not cry. And so hopefully you all stretch and do the same. If you have any name suggestions, please leave them in chat so I can name the character. And when we come back, we are going to make our second character for the evening, who's also going to be a bestial soul. However, when we do this, all these options are turning on for race, for background, and we did the safety dip into the player's handbook. Now let's have some fun with the expanded content. Oh, Fulgurite. All right. Fulgurite. So yeah, Fumarole was close, but all right. Thank you for letting me know, Just Otherness. And we'll be back in a little bit.